All right, guys. We're going to talk about getting abs. That's what everybody wants, but it's November. What abs matter in November? Well, I tell you what, if you don't start peeling off that fat right now, you're not going to have abs come summer. You're going to have those fake abs. We're going to call them flabs, to use the term of my man Louis Marco. Love that boy's channel. Check it out. So, how do you get abs? You start right now. Better yet, you start last year. That's the way to get abs. Real abs, washboard abs, thick abs, strong abs. Not those thin Kate Moss waif-like abs. You want real man abs. Ladies, I'm talking to you too, if you're listening. You want that toned, tight, rigid, ripped midsection. You want blocks of muscle, cinder blocks, just sticking out, pushing out through your shirt. So when you're walking around in a hoodie, people can see your abs busting through. Now, how do we get them? Three parts. The first part is diet. If you're not eating right, I don't care what you're doing in life, you're not going to have abs. You're not going to have muscle. You're not going to have the proper nutrients you need to build the body that you're looking for. So when we talk about diet, we're going to keep it simple. We need high quality protein. I prefer animal proteins. For the vegans out there, that's cool. You can do your thing, and we have a lot of vegan meal plans, but it's a lot harder, and you know it. And if you're vegan, you're not going to carry nearly the amount of muscle as the meat-eating savages. That's just the way it goes. Even if you're genetically blessed, it's still going to be much, much more difficult for you. So we want to get those lean animal proteins in there. You know the Dolce diet philosophy. Wild-caught meats. Real meats, earth-grown nutrients, untainted, unmolested, uncontaminated by man. Find your local hunter, go to your butcher, go to your fishmonger, and ask, what's wild? How do I get wild, fresh, locally caught meat? That's what I want. That's what we eat over here. That's what we suggest. It's a lot easier than it might seem. Next, you want to eat a shitload of vegetables. A shitload of vegetables and fruits. The whole fruit makes you fat is bullshit. Again, just another lazy pseudo bodybuilding mentality put out there by the uneducated, by the undisciplined, and by the unknowing individuals that just want to pump you full of drugs and pump you full of supplements. You don't need that shit. So we want to eat fresh, wild meats. 2 grams per pound, 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. That's an easy rule of thumb to really start at. You want to eat a shitload of green vegetables, wide variety of vegetables, not just green. You want to have at least 4 servings of green a day and another 4 servings of colored vegetables a day. That's tomato, that's carrots, that's eggplant. There's a ton of veggies out there. Have fun, go crazy. Again, wild, organic, non-GMO, those are the way to go. And every time I talk, I keep pounding that stuff into your head because there's a lot of marketing out there that pushes you back the other way. So we want organic, we want non-GMO. Those are more nutrient dense than anything else out there. They have less contaminants than anything else out there. Your body readily absorbs those nutrients better. I don't care who's talking. Trust me when I say this. This is what works best. This is why multi-millionaire athletes hire me to get them in the best shape of your life. Now, I'm telling you for free, you can go listen to some Joe YouTube fucking idiot who's going to try and sell you some other wolf ticket and try and get you to believe his program so you can subscribe to his channel and buy his little fucking t-shirts and meal plans, but it's bullshit. I'm telling you what the pros do, what we do, how they actually make gains and make progress. Next, your complex carbohydrate source. So we have our simple sugars that come from fruits primarily. We want to talk about more complex carbs. The carbs I like are oats, our amaranth, our quinoa, our sweet potatoes, our brown rice, our white potatoes. Those are excellent carbohydrate sources. You want to keep those going through your diet all day long. The bodybuilders get a little crazy where they're only eating one type of rice, white rice and maybe a little sweet potato, something along those lines. You want a wide variety once again. Every meal should have a different type of carbohydrate source. And I mean, that's really it with diet. You know, we can hammer that on and on. I got a lot of content out there. Listen to my podcast. We talk about it on every episode, The Mike Dolce Show. Check it out. Subscribe. Good stuff. The next thing is training. Now, when you train, you want to train abs heavy. Forget that high rep bullshit. There's a time and place for high rep. But when you're walking around in life, you're already working high rep. When you're doing squats, when you're doing deadlifts, when you're doing rows, when you're doing chin-ups, you're activating your core. You're training your core. So we're going to focus on 3 basic exercise types. We want to talk about the cable rope standing or kneeling pull down. That's the first exercise, and we want to go heavy. Try and stack that bitch if you can with perfect form. Slow, controlled descent, solid contraction squeeze, and slowly release the weight back up to the starting position. Super heavy weight, super high reps. We're talking 15 to 25 rep sets minimum. Next exercise, the hanging leg raise, and we want to add weight. Now, if I'm going no weight, I'm going straight leg. I'm keeping my straight legs, and I'm going all the way up, heels to the ceiling, and I'm popping my hips at the top, or I'm hanging a dumbbell between my feet, and I'm doing knee-ups, knees to my ears, and all the way back down. Again, 15 to 20 reps nonstop. Last exercise that we want to do is rotational work. I like the wood chops. I like to take a high cable with a rope tricep extension, and I like to chop all the way down to a squeeze, come back again. So I'll do high chop, low chop opposite side where I'm bringing it up, and I'll switch. So I'll do all 4 points on the cable crossover machine, working the X pattern. Cable pull downs, heavy knee raises, and going chops from side to side. And then we hammer our deadlifts, we hammer our glute ham raise, we hammer our reverse hyper, we hammer our back extensions. So we're really working that core all the way around. Very important. Also, dip. You should be doing lots of functional compound movements. I'm a purist when it comes to strength training and muscle building. So I'm doing lots of dips, I'm doing lots of chins, I'm doing lots of squats, lots of rows. All those exercises dramatically challenge the core. We need a strong core to handle the super heavy weights in those exercises, but that actually comes back. And because we do those exercises, we build a super thick, balanced core. Check out my photo. That's the type of abs I'm popping because of those exercises. What's the last thing we do? So we have diet, we have exercise. Now we need to sleep. You need to be sleeping, everybody. 7, 8, 9 hours a day, every single day. I'm shooting for 8 to 9 hours a night, no matter what. You want to make gains, you got to make sacrifices. No more staying up banging chicks for 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Get that out of the way early and get your ass to sleep. So whatever time you have to wake up, back that clock up 9 hours, and that's when you have to be in bed and eat your last meal within 30 minutes of going to sleep. That's another thing these internet gurus talk about. Stay away from, don't be fasting when you're going to bed. I definitely bang a meal right before I fall asleep, and sometimes I'll keep a grass-fed whey protein in the shaker right next to my bed in case I wake up. I'll dump some purified water in there, shake it up, bang it, right back to sleep. Making gains. You got to make sacrifices to make gains. So you want to get those ripped, shredded abs. Diet's first and foremost. Exercise, that's the stimulus that's going to start to build that muscle. And then rest. Rest is where we put it all together. Simple. Everything we do here is a simple process. So don't believe the hype or all the fucking fancy bullshit, fancy exercise. You don't have to get fancy to be fucking in sick shape. You don't have to get fancy to be lean, to be powerful, to be functional, and to be healthy. Everything we do with the Dolce diet is about being healthy. If you're healthy, you can do everything. Remember to subscribe to this channel, guys and girls. Post your comments. Let's talk about it. Let's get some more communication going. I want to know what you want. Share this video wherever you want to share it with the people that maybe you want to help, or you want to rub in their face that you know what you're doing and they don't know what they're doing. What else we got? The Mike Dolce Show. Check out the podcast. It's an hour episode. We got 100 or so episodes. All sorts of shit. Great guests. Rob Wolf is on there. Flex Lewis, Mr. Olympia, is on there. We got Chris Cormier I'm going to have on here soon. We have Dr. Lane Norton coming up. I have Thiago Alves and Dwayne Bang Ludwig from the MMA world. Lots of great guests on the show. Check it out. Anything else? I think that's it for now. Questions, shoot them over at me. Check out the DolceDiet.com. That's all the stuff you need to get in touch and keep you making them gains. Boom!